And up at the interview table is Long Beach State head coach Jeff Kamen, along with junior guard Justina King. Same as our last press conference, we'll open it up with a statement from Coach Kamen and then open up for questions for Justina and then both our interviewees. If you have a question, please raise your hand or type question in the chat box along with your name and your affiliation. So, Coach, whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Didn't anticipate this ending, but I will say that I'm very proud of these young ladies. All the things they pushed through this year, considering the circumstances and the direction that they've pushed this program. I'm very proud of them, and it's a tough way to lose, but everything's a learning experience, even though I would rather win and learn, but, it's all part of it. So it hurts like heck, but I can't tell you how proud I am of these young ladies. They're amazing, and every day they surprise me, how great they are and their character is. So, yep, that's my statement.
We'll open it out for questions for Justina. And our first one's from Mike Ordabisco. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey guys, question's actually for Jeff. Jeff, you've seen a lot of these tournament games where it comes down to one weird play, at the end of the game. It seemed like you guys defensively got into what you wanted to get into. I think Faith mentioned you guys cut off their first two options on that play. Wasn't a great look. They goes up, kind of rolled around and goes in. What were you watching unfold? Did you execute the defense you wanted to? And I guess how hard is it about basketball that sometimes it rolls out and then
Yeah, just all year, and for the most part, these young ladies really gave it their all on the defensive end of the floor. We've been very disruptive, and and it was the same. I think in this last play, I thought we did a great job on the initial. Unfortunately, we didn't do such a great job on the the latter end of that, and it's tough. I thought we almost had a deflection and a steal with the Amani, and somehow trickles to the young lady underneath the basket, and she had Makai sealed. And at that point, it's basketball gods. She's going to make that play or she's not, and she made the play. So, it never comes down to the end. I thought we had chances throughout the course of the game to kind of build a lead and have more of a cushion so we're not in that situation. But, we just didn't compete on the boards, as well as we needed to. I thought really the only way they were able to score is when they had second chance opportunities, and they hit some shots at time, but really we shut them off, but they're a scrappy team, credit to Faith. She gets her kids to play hard, and I think they know that they have to do a little bit more to be able to negate, our athleticism and our ability to really, dictate and take them, take them out of position to make plays, So, yeah, it's just I saw we did a great job on the initial, what we wanted to do. We called a timeout to try to see what their alignment was and what they could possibly do. And we did a solid job on the initial. And, I'm laughing because I'm hurting, but it's crazy how, this game, the highs and lows, boy, you have to, roll with them. But we're on the other end of it tonight. We're on the other end of it tonight.
The next question, Bob Kaiser. Go right ahead. Bob, you there?
I'm sorry. It's a hard loss for you guys. Can you look beyond this and just realize what you achieved this season?
Bob, yes. We even spoke about it. Yeah, it's hard. Even our young ladies, they're competitive. And they don't, they're tired of hearing the same, hey, we're going in the right direction. Like, they want to be there now. But I think they do understand that it is a process. And when you sip through the emotion, like we talked about in the locker room, for what we've done and coming from having four young ladies on the roster and building it to what it is now, we're missing, key components, and we were still able to do some special things this year. So I think once we are able to kind of get past this emotion, this of this loss, I think all of us, we could look back and say, wow, like we've definitely have taken a jump, and this program's headed in the right direction. So yes, Bob, right now it's tough too, and I think Justina would agree, but I think once we're able to, get away from, get out of the emotion, I think we can kind of pat ourselves on the back on some of the things we were able to do this year.
Justina, do you want to answer that as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing that Coach Jeff said. This was the best season we had in terms of our record. Even our start, we were 10-0. I don't think we've ever done that, so kudos to us. And we started off in a really tough spot. We weren't practicing in a gym. We were on tennis courts, so we really overcame a lot of obstacles. We didn't make excuses, and we just kept working as a team, as a coaching staff. We really believed in each other, and I think that showed with how we started off our season. Obviously, we had the 7-game losing streak, but then we came back with a win against Irvine. So I think that really shows who we are as a team. And again, like Coach Jeff said, we're moving in the right direction.
Michael, go back to you. Go ahead.
Justina, you're obviously coming back. I mean, basically the team's coming back. But what did you guys as players, maybe separate from the coaches, kind of talk about right after that game? You mentioned it, really kind of a weird season between the start you guys had, the long winning streak, the losing streak, and then the way it ended. What did you guys all kind of talk about, what you're going to take away from the season as kind of motivation, I guess, for next year?
Really how this feels. I mean, that was something we talked about, using this as motivation for next season, because we don't want to feel like this again. So using this to work out more, run more, when you don't want to. So I would say that was the biggest takeaway, is using this as fuel for us next year and come out hot again.
Bob, go back to you.
Jeff, you guys had only made 10 of 27 layups. Do you think that was just the intensity of the game?
Wow.
Oh my goodness. It could be. We just got to get better. We got to get better. I mean, it's to play at a championship level, you have to do all the little things at a high level, and we talk about it all the time, but we got to get better. We got to go back and work on our skill. And Bob, I do think for some, maybe the game was maybe a little big and, they're a little tense. But, it comes down to you being prepared to make those plays, And, I mean, we missed so many wide open layups and, like I said, offensive rebounds. I mean, you can't beat yourself. We haven't really got to the point right now within this program where we're able to make less mistakes than other team and capitalize on, the easy plays that we should. So, Bob, that's a good point. I mean, I didn't know the stat. I know we missed a ton of them, but thanks for, making me feel even worse, Bob. I appreciate it, but I'm just kidding. But, yeah, I just think we got to get better. We got to get better. We got to get in the gym. And I know it sounds funny, layups they've been doing that since they were young. But, to prepare yourself for this level of play, some people aren't prepared for it. And we just have to do a better job as a staff at trying to simulate it, even though in this year, this COVID year, it's tough to kind of simulate it all the time. But we just have to prepare them better, and they have to do their part as well. So, sure, I think some of it had to do with the pressure of the game, but we've been missing layups all year. So it's just an area that we got to get better in.
Justina, so the journey of the season from having to start on the tennis courts to now, and being the only team that actually played their full conference schedule, what did you learn about yourself and your team that you can apply toward next year?
That we're resilient, honestly. In the past, we might have complained about being on the tennis courts and all that stuff. There was no complaints. Every single day we came out there in the mornings, the wind was blowing, you're trying to shoot a three-pointer, it almost goes over the fence. I mean, it was crazy, but it really built our character this year, and it showed on the court. Again, the start of a season was 10-0, so we really were just so excited to be in a gym again, and I think that really showed. But yeah, we're just so resilient as a whole. Our coaching staff didn't complain, players didn't complain. I mean, it was really good to see, and we just worked really hard. And yeah, resilience is for sure what I would say.
Jeff, what about you?
Put your masks off.
Exactly.
Yes, it's. Oh man, I just think back to last year, and the tournament, and no fans, and we lost to Slow again, which it just hurts even more. But it's just been a weird deal, and I think what we try to do, and just talking to Mike knows, we talked a lot and had a lot of conversation, but it teaches life lessons, and that's what we've tried to communicate to our young ladies is that, well, let's use this as an opportunity to, push through adversity and be able to adjust to whatever life hands you, and like I said, the character you can see on the floor just shines through. Through that 7, it was tough, but our young ladies came in the gym and they didn't, sway as far as their work ethic and their attitude and their spirit and energy, and it just shows you the type of culture we have and we're building. And are we there yet? No, but, there's games where we had 7 players. We had 7 that can only play, and 6, we've had, kids out, and everyone's dealing with it, but we were like the last, our men and us, we were like the last team to actually get in the gym, so to be able to overcome those obstacles, just like Justina said, I'm just proud of them. I told them, we're winners just for what we were able to overcome this year, and to be able to have an over 500 year, and we haven't had yet, and to do some of the things we did, I couldn't be prouder of, these young ladies, and I'm excited, for the future.
Thank you all. Thank you both for your answers. Safe travels home.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the great year.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Drive safe.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Be safe.